And we are live. Wednesday Night with Those Guys and Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Night with Those Guys. And this is where we talk about everything in the... Whoa.
What happened?
The people. You know, I got a whole studio audience here with me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They studio audience. You know, they got the people with the applause cards and everything. But anyway, this is where we talk about everything in the drone world, all right, as you know, and promote the usage of drones. And if the weather has been nice where you are, please let me know how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones. Let me know how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones. Lawrence, how are you doing on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon or evening? Because
I'm good. The weather's been
now this time of the year.
Yeah, the weather's been nice right about now. We're expecting rain finally here in New York in over a month, but poor Scotty lost out on the government contract to Teal. Oh,
Man.
oh, I really feel bad for him. Not. I'm good, man. I'm chilling. It's hump day, Wednesday.
Middle of the week.
Not a whole lot's going on.
The very middle
personally, but other than that, waiting for my 03 unit to make it to DJI so you could tell me what was wrong with it or see if they're going to replace it or what.
Well, what's wrong with it?
It stopped recording. I remember I was telling you, the 03 unit, I replaced the motors on this drone here. Hold on. This one, I replaced the motors because the bell housing effed up in Florida. Well, new motors.
That one.
It's on ELRS and everything, but I went to fly it and
you broke it.
It recorded to the goggles, but it did not record to the 03 air unit. Hey Scott, what's good?
I got you. And then you say so. That's why you had to send it back.
Well, yeah, I put in a claim with them, and they were like, "Look, send it in. Here's a shipping label. We'll tell you what's wrong, what the deal is."
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can't fly in 30-mile-per-hour gusts. You can fill up if you flew FPV. You could fly in 30-mile-per-hour gust.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's true. At a camera drone, you might not find it.
Or if you crazy.
That too.
you know what's some crazy shit? You know, back when the drones flew on Light Bridge, right?
Yeah.
You know, we used to do some real crazy shit.
I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome to Hump Day. Hey Corey, what's good? Why ACL?
No, seriously. We like in the name of filming things and talking about like how now the drones have all this, what is it?
Autonomy.
What OcuSync 50 now, right? No, on 04, right?
I think we're on OcuSync 4 now.
4, right? Well, back on like Light Bridge 2 and stuff like that, you know, we were doing some things and getting shots on some of these drones, and we had no problem. And now the transmission systems on them are crazy. So
yeah, could you imagine what we could do if Light Bridge was as strong as OcuSync?
It's like it was the first thing that came out back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, imagine what technology we would be on now, right?
Well, we're like, well, when I say that, like, it's to say like, in the early years of of the drones, and guys really started getting into it. You know what I mean? If you check, most guys got into this like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago. So imagine that if it was like
I'm actually coming up on an 8.5-year anniversary.
When you could actually fly in places that you can't fly in now.
I know. This is what I'm saying. I had a memory on Facebook that came up. You and I, we went somewhere, and I forget where it is, but it was in 2016.
Wow.
2016. I'm like, no, you got to be kidding.
Mm-hmm.
No, stop.
Phantom Pro.
Yeah. Yes. And that particular place, you're 100% right. We can't fly there anymore. It's becoming more and more like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Lightbridge was a big deal. Eldon knows. He's from the Phantom days.
Yeah, because Lightbridge is what called everybody to the party, because nothing was better than that.
I remember we had a meeting on Ward's Island. Could I, well, I don't know if I want to show that. Never mind. We had a meet up on Ward's Island, and people were flying all over the place. Back then, the police were doing surveillance on drone pilots, or they were doing the testing of their equipment, because they stood and hovered above us. And even one time, you remember we were flying on the beach, they said over the police radio, oh, it's just a group of guys flying drones.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, Ronnie, what's up?
Yeah,
I know what we have to do. We have to do our explosive roll call while we're thinking about it.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead. We got a little more time.
What happened?
We got a little more time. These guys, you guys got to click the like button.
Well, that's not kind of like the criteria for the roll call. You know what I don't like about maybe I just haven't figured it out. That's probably what it is, I guess, right? Say that.
What's that?
Say how when no.
What happened?
No, nothing.
Anyway,
yeah.
Jack Scott says I live on memory lane. Okay.
Lane?
That's something he used to tell the chicks. You're like, where you live at? I live on memory lane, babe. I can see Scott.
Uh-oh.
That was Scott's line back then. I live on memory lane, babe. Don't worry about where I live. Well, it's Wednesday, the 20th. Next week is on Thanksgiving.
Is it?
I think so. At the end of the week, I think.
Yeah. Next, it's out. Oh, wow. A lot of weeks.
Yeah. We have Thanksgiving is on Thursday. We have a show on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is the last
on
week.
The 29th is Native American Heritage Day.
What happened?
On the 29th, it's Native American Heritage Day, the day after Thanksgiving. They seem to have slipped. It's a holiday. It's on my calendar. I did not put it there.
Okay.
So I guess it's. So
I guess school is closed that day too.
Probably. Aren't they off for about a week or two during Thanksgiving?
I got practice.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, see, yeah. Well, that's true. But those of you do not know, or breaking news, not breaking news, because it's been a what is that? What is that? The coaches call it? Welcome to the Evo. What?
No, stop it. No, stop. No.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we made it through the quarterfinals. This Saturday, it's the semifinals, and then the championship, right?
Yeah, that's the direction that it usually goes.
2 more games, yeah. Callaway
Yeah.
is the new memory. Huh?
2 more. I mean,
Okay. All right.
that whole E-Hall invitational thing was just a joke. It wasn't supposed to go.
Well, the E-Hall Invitational, just to let you guys know what's been going on with team that Herman's one of the defensive coaches on, and I happen to be the cameraman. You know, I post a picture before each game and after each game, and I put it on Facebook sometimes. So
His finger gets in the middle of a couple of the shots.
oh, stop it. Anyway, what are we going to do now? It's still early. We have a little bit of time to kill.
Well, I mean, how many people do we have here watching? Well,
how many people do we have here watching?
Who's in the house with us tonight?
All right about now, I see right here. He was here earlier. Barkley, 107 Drones, is in the house. He came to hang out with us. I'm going to go right on up the list with God Bless America. Ronnie, welcome to the stream. We have Waypoint New England, who's a regular here as well. You guys, we love you guys coming through. Then there's Jack Rabbit FPV, the guy with I Live on Memory Lane lines. Yes, guy. Then we have Philip Koshak, the Shat Show. If you want to hear the song that he wrote for us, Herman plays it at the end of the stream. Take Off Lift and Land, Bronx, New York. Eldon, what's goody? Good.
Oh, good.
The Drone Guy, 42 Adventures. Angel, how are you, sir? Welcome to the stream. We appreciate you. My boy Corey, YACL, 310. How are you? Hope all is well, Corey. And let's go all the way up. SJM Steve. SJM Drones and Media over in the UK across the pond. RJ's Ariel. Ron, how are you? Hope all is well. And with that, Jody was here earlier. Drone Shots. Have to give him a shout out as well. Jody. And that is it, sir. For now.
So
that wasn't too bad.
Nice little call. We got a few people in the chat with us tonight.
Yeah, a few people hanging out. I know you guys came to see Ryan. He'll be in later on. Oh, Thomas Baker, aka Ted Drone Flyer, TEB Drone Flyer. He just popped in. I look forward to Ryan coming in because whenever he comes in, he usually has good information as to what's happening out there. A lot of you guys are wondering whether we are going to be able to fly. Huh?
Got a couple of court cases and stuff that we're going to talk about. And a few that may be important to some, but important to most.
Welcome, V-Dub.
And one of the things that I wanted to mention, Lawrence, also, because really want to get right into that, because we had mentioned it the last week.
Yes.
But it's not too late to enter the Sky Pixel photo and video contest. There's still time to enter. The deadline to submit is they're taking your registration. I've already started doing that, but the deadline to submit your work is February 10th of 25. So we're approaching 25 very quickly. We're at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So this is not I guess it's not really a contest. You just let me just throw this together. This is something you got to start working.
No, you got to put your foot in this one.
Yeah.
You take your best picture or what you believe is your best picture. They have different categories also at Sky Pixel. So they are You can upload photos. You can
Mhm.
upload videos. The videos have to be, I think, no longer than 5 minutes, but your videos have to feature some type of DJI device or peripheral
Used
while
using
it has to
DJ.
be used while making that video. The same thing with your drone shots. They prefer it to be a DJI drone or at least a DJI camera. It could be a drone carrying an Action 5. You understand? But it's got to be using DJI device. Excuse me. So
Okay.
if you're interested, I uploaded a picture the other day to there. I always try. I usually upload about 5 photos. I don't upload any video or anything, but I have participated in the photo contest that they have though. It's down. Hold on. Angel asks, "Hey guys, is downtown Brooklyn good for a flight now?" Well, because the air is calm.
Where you
Yeah,
flying from?
it depends on where. The courthouses are off limit. Where do you want to fly in downtown
Are
Brooklyn?
they?
Like, huh?
Are they?
Yes, they're off limits, the courthouses. But like the photo behind me is the bank.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That it depends. I know people fly there. They get pictures of the of Barclays Center,
Mm-hmm.
the Barclays Center. They usually get pictures of this bank behind me and a few of the others buildings around there. Depends on where you want to fly from, Angel. That's what the question is. Is downtown Brooklyn good? Where is it good to fly from? I'm here now. Ha 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 ha. Give me a second. I'll hit you on Facebook.
Try to check out the parking lot by the old Models.
Yes, that's where I was going to send them. That's exactly where you can get a shot like this here. Angel, give me a second and I'll connect you on Facebook and I can pin a location for you. And that'll be that. Simple enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's one of the primo spots, Herman.
Yeah, all you
right?
gotta do is go straight up and just start clicking.
Just start. So you got the Barclay, yeah. You have the Barclay there. In fact, let me put it in Barclays.
You have Barclays, that bank that you got.
Barclays Center.
That
yes,
building.
You can get shots of the Barclays Center and yes, this spot, Angel,
is right across the street. All you got to do is turn left and right and just shoot the shutter button. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Just go straight up in the air. Just push the button.
Yeah.
Point the camera
right
up and down, left and right. That's right across the street from all of that in the Barclays Center.
Sure. And there's parking. Right?
There should yeah, there should be.
Sure. The customers coming in and out. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. That didn't work.
Anyway.
I didn't copy. I didn't hit.
Well, what I wanted to say was, Lawrence, last week I didn't know if I got to mention this, but and I was talking with Tom via text message, via Tom. I don't understand how we do that nowadays instead of just calling each other and talk. But I saw some pictures from the Vegas drone meetup, and it looked like it was a good meetup.
Yes.
Well, I knew it was going to be a good meetup based upon the things that they said they had set up to do, but wow. And someone won a drone.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's nice to know. I mean, it was. I'm one of these. I gotta catch that meetup one year. You know what?
We can make that happen.
let me not jinx myself because it's normally the playoff time if they're gonna have it the same time of the year. And I don't want to not be in the playoffs. I'd rather be in the playoffs than to not be in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Even though it takes my Thanksgiving morning. Yeah,
no, I understand totally.
It's hard because I actually have to help out with Thanksgiving, and it takes up my whole morning.
Okay, real quick, Herman. He says he has a client on Pacific Street right next to Barclays. The spot I just pinned you, Angel, is across the street from there.
Across the
he has a client on Pacific Street, he was saying.
Okay. Well,
and he's right there. Yeah, he's right there. So, and the pin I gave him is right across the street.
Just leave your car wherever it is and just walk across.
Yeah, if it's parked, you could walk over. That'd be smart to walk over there. Yeah.
4th Avenue, walk across 4th Avenue and walk around the corner and across the street. You're right there.
Yep. Okay. Glad to oblige.
Okay, you're good. You see that? I should be GPS.
Yeah, right. Well,
at least
it'd be a lot more accurate.
But no, what was I going to say, Lon? Yeah, so I guess that meetup was a success, right? You know.
Yes.
Now
welcome back. Glue guns gurus.
What happened?
Glue guns gurus is Art Keeley.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Angie.
Angie. What you got there, Angie? What Lawrence? Ooh. The whole Twitter race, right? Is running rampant with your guy on Twitter and all of the stuff they've been putting out there. And what I saw was this thing here where I believe, and this is my opinion, I'm not sure, but I have this thing I want to show you. There was a whole thing here where the quote was, well. Here comes the final puzzle in the mosaic. And that's a weird quote, but this was the whole thing here. Now, what are we making that here?
What are we making? The marketing name, DJI RC track.
Yeah, so the RC track's supposed to be coming soon, very soon. You should be seeing it. I'm quite sure you've seen that. I'm quite sure you saw that on a couple other live streams. But yes, it is supposed to be coming soon.
And it's considered a remote control.
Right, it is. It is, because it's actually going to take control of your craft that you're flying, as opposed to having your regular controller. I want one of those little Neos. It sounds cute, to have something that you can palm launch and then it's voice activated and stuff like that.
That's exactly what it is, Barkley and Dre. In a beacon.
Right. It is a little beacon.
Yeah. It's
funny. It's like how hard is some of the technology to just do these things? It's like, we always knew how the drone can set the home point to wherever the controller is and stuff like that years ago with the DJI drones. It's always done that way. You can see it on the map, like when you move around, you can see your point with the controller as opposed to where the home point is.
Yes.
You're always able to see that. Man,
Well,
that was
that's
all.
like it just reminds me of the little Star Trek technology. They have the little beacons, the little buttons. You press it, and they know exactly where they are, no matter what. The heart rate, all of that. This is very similar. It's a
Right.
beacon. First, it starts out like that, and the next thing you know, it's a ring
No,
you wear.
stop. No. Don't give these people no more food for thought.
Aloha, Sky Control.
Because they watch too many sci-fi movies too. Man said, yeah, it can test your, it can, what? It can, it'll get your heart rate and it can read your mind.
Oh no, they're already saying that. Remember, the government was already saying that. Let's stop. Let's not give them. The next thing you know, there's this live stream out of New York where these guys are saying that DJI has, you know how shit starts.
Yeah, they can read your mind.
The views and opinions heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat. Right, there's our disclaimer.
Yeah. Even the views of the people speaking
it. Right? Elton says his Neo is his best friend now.
See?
It's a baby Avada, he says. DJI will kill the game with the stabilized version of it. If they have a camera, if they put a better camera on it.
Right. But it's a startup thing. You know what I mean? See, this is really a startup. We got some about starting with DJI. Yeah, this is really it. You know, and actually, Lawrence, this gets into those little spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a nice little jump.
Yep. You can fly it around. It sounds like the Avadas.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it has that whir, that whine of like the Avadas. So, and I think that is actually done intentionally, because you can actually control some of that sound and limit some of that sound, but they don't give a damn.
Now, let me ask you a question. What you make of this dude? He keeps posting these photos and it seems like it's the same photos over and over, or the same photos that everybody else is posting, and keeps hinting towards, I don't know who's getting the photos from who, but from what I looked at a few things, I'm seeing that it's a lot of guys posting around the same photos over and over and over. But he keeps hinting to this damn new gimbal, a new Mavic series.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But a round gimbal.
Yeah.
Which looks like that gimbal will actually protrude even further from the camera for more angle of degree.
I don't know why it keeps coming up.
I guess they're trying to see how people feel about it.
What?
The picture.
You know what
You
it
show
is?
a picture. Yeah, DJI is infamous for showing a picture, and they'll just sit back and watch the reviewers and the speculation. Oh, that's got to be the Phantom 6 coming out. That camera will definitely fit on the Phantom 6. You know, so.
You know what's crazy about that? There was some pictures floating around because there was talk about how, you remember the photos that were going around about the custom Phantom, the custom Phantom 4 Pro, or was it the Phantom 5 with the interchangeable lenses? Could you imagine that on the Mavic series?
Yeah,
I know they'd be tiny as shit.
Listen,
Some of you
keep bringing it, keep putting it out.
Some of you dudes that fat finger stuff might break that.
That's funny.
At this time, either it will be tiny, or we'll start making the drones bigger again, and I don't really see that happening.
I don't see them getting. I see them getting smaller and them limiting the distance and range. You'll still be able to go 5 miles if you want, but you won't. Will you want to? Is the question, because now birds are starting to not be scared of drones now.
Which one?
Pigeons will try and circle you. Pigeons will circle around you. We know crows, ravens, hawks, they all attack whatever's in the air.
Time to put up a phantom whenever you need to fly then, because nothing.
Yeah, right. Because they let phantoms alone. They let phantoms. Look, that is not a bird, but I'm not effing with it. Actually, Keely, they with the Mavic 3 series, Keely was Glue Guns was saying that AI will be coming to drones, and I'm like, well, the Mavic 3 series already has AI.
They've already been doing that from the time they've been out.
Well, she had stated that she was away for a while, and she says, like, I'm so behind. Not much, but technology has changed a lot in the last year.
I mean, not really.
In the last year and a half. With firmware, you have the augmented reality return to home now. I'll give you a video to look at, Glue Guns. Let me look it up.
That's been around for a minute now.
Yeah, yes, it has.
You got to remember this. You got to remember this. If you have a Mavic 3, right, you're looking at 3 years now. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's still going strong.
You know what's crazy about it? This is why I say, like, you know, when everybody talks about the Air series, I bought an Air 3S, right? Because I didn't buy the Air. I bought the Air 2S because I didn't buy the Air 2. Why I didn't buy the Air 2 is because I didn't think I needed it.
Hey, Fly Zone, welcome.
So
I understand.
Knew that when the Mavic 3 was coming out, I knew I was buying that drone because everyone, you know, had, you know, we talked. The talk was the talk of the talk about that drone, and everybody was like, "Oh, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that, and other."
Yeah.
And then when DJI put it all on the scale and put the price tag on it, guys was like,
people, ooh. they turn into Ralph, a humana. Ralph Cramden. They heard the price of that drone and was like, "Whoo, it's getting hot in here. Does somebody open the window?"
And then they all went to the FPV drone, and then came back to the Air 3 and tried to convince themselves that it was better than the Mavic.
Right. Eldon got a question for you, Herman.
Yeah.
He says, "Those guys, how's the Mavic 3 Enterprise treating you?"
Oh, well, I mean, well, let's hit the thing with the Mavic 3 Enterprise is that we could do it with the Phantom for Pro, what we needed to do it, what we needed it for. But the Mavic 3, we can put the drone up and take the first photo that we need or set the home point, or not the home point, but the spot, the center point on the tower.
Yeah, point of interest.
Right. And get our first shot that we need, you know, and then from there we can move out and start our shots that we need on that same battery, get all of the shots that we need and the different camera angles that we need on that one battery.
Yeah.
And be done with, instead of having to change batteries or do it manually with the
Mavic
3. And then the photo count is on point and accurate with the Enterprise drone. So that's what makes it so much better to use, or so much easier to use, because the time that it takes to get it done, is so much easier than the way we were doing it.
Flying the job manually. When we were flying the job manually, we were getting the job done. But the time that the Mavic 3 Enterprise takes off of us flying it manually, like Herman says, once you make that one point of interest, the next position outwards is looking down, I think, 40 degrees or 20
everything
degrees.
Is just now changing your camera angle, and staying at the same distance, just changing your camera angle and moving up and down, moving down to the drone lands.
Right. And then it's over, and you upload that, and they take all of those photos and make a 3D image. Yes, it was a good purchase, Eldon. Agree. It definitely was. It's just now, if you're looking for an enterprise drone, they're scarce. And this is making me wonder, with the new Enterprise, Herman, the 30T, what's going on?
I don't know, but you know what I do know, and from what I did see,
we missed our first sponsor.
Did we?
By 7 minutes.
I mean, listen.
It's within the 10-minute marker.
My personal opinion is that this is one of our better sponsors. My opinion.
For drone news and tech talk, tune in every Wednesday night, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to Wednesday Night with those guys.
I must concur.
Yeah, that's a good looking dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they sound like they know what they're talking about.
They might.
Yeah, but yeah, now use it with drone deploy, doing a 360 spear. Draymond was saying. I haven't thought about.
Well, you know what? We've never done it, but that'd be interesting, Ross, because the thing is that we just have to package the photos the way they want it packaged.
Yeah, they want a minimum.
Upload it to their system, and we walk away.
We're free, right? Draymond, we just collect the data, and we're free.
They do whatever they do with it, and we just wait for the money.
Well, it does go through quality control.
Yeah, but they do whatever
before we're paid for any job. It goes through quality control. The quality control passes everything that we do, the angles
properly.
It takes 26 shots and you're done. Wow, for 360. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Michael, FPV Sergio, Maddie's Drone World for getting me off the ground with a Xeno Pro in 2022.
Okay.
All right. See.
All right.
There's nothing wrong. Ronnie's wants to become an FPV pilot. I know it. He wants to be an FPV pilot. And he is one. He just doesn't realize it.
Okay. That's what it is.
I used to toy around with Drone Link and Map Pilot Pro for a few years ago to get familiar with photogrammetry, 2D, 3D scans.
Okay. All right.
I've played around with a few also. You know what? I'm like, why am I sitting here with my sneakers on? And I just kicked the dogs off, and now the toes can wiggle now.
No worries.
Yes.
You remember you mentioned the back a few weeks back, we had mentioned when the goggles had come out and all that, when they mentioned the goggles that we still can't see yet. This is why I'm not so gung-ho on all of the new DJI stuff, because you can't get the stuff that supposedly came out last week or 2 weeks ago. Now ago.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and stuff is now starting to trickle in. But you had mentioned this 04 unit, right, when the goggles had come out?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
well, it was.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Because I was to say there was a drawing, right, that came out. You remember? I showed you this.
And I'm so glad you popped this up. I'm going to be short and brief, guys. For those of you who don't see what's going on here, DJI is expanding their VTX their VTX capabilities. The unit on the left, I'm telling you, they're coming out with 2 units. The 04 Air Unit Pro is the full-size unit, dual band, dual antenna on the right side. On the left, if you notice, it's only a monopole, single antenna, which will probably be 2.4 gig, to frequency to transmit. But the camera's also different. I can almost guarantee that this is light version will be put inside tiny whoops and some close proximity flying drones, whereas the Pro unit with the dual band antenna and the much heavier casing and the much better camera will definitely be for the bigger, beefier drones.
Interesting.
But as I find out more, I'll keep you posted. But remember, you heard it here first. That light unit, Herman, is going to be for tiny whoops and stuff like this here, like this Pavo 2025, or stuff
So what
like
you
this.
got in there now?
What do I have? A full air unit in here, a heavy unit. But if I could put a lighter unit in here, I can get more batteries for flight time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's coming. And that's that. You are not showing anything, novice.
You know what's funny, Lawrence? I remember there was one year. Whoa, this is so long ago. And you guys out there in Queens made the holidays a bad thing. Because I remember, I'll explain it. Black Friday, actually. Black Friday sales. You guys in Queens made it a bad thing one time.
Yeah. A few people got stepped on.
A few people? Come on, man. The security officer over there. I don't even want to bring it up. It was a bad thing. It was a really bad thing. But yeah, I remember the Black Friday deal. Everybody used to sneak out after Thanksgiving dinner and just hit the stores. Oh yeah, Black Friday is seems to be a thing now, and it's on the internet. It's Black Friday is just a thing, right? So everybody wants to run out and grab up whatever sales they believe is happening right now. But DJI has their Black Friday sales too.
Yeah.
Up to 52% off. Believe it or not, Lawrence. And they just and they're giving away stuff for free.
This is true right here. One of the things that I
think is crazy, because they have. Well, I mean, what is it? Care Refresh. They're giving out free Care Refresh. You got that
I'm trying to find it to pull up now.
That DJI Black Friday.
That's not it. Firmware, nope, that's not it either. Of course not.
Okay. Wow. Anyway, on the DJI. Yeah, on the DJI.
I'm here. Let's go DJI to Black Friday event. Here we go. I didn't load it. That was my mistake. Here it is. I have it right here. Share, screen, Black Friday deal. I didn't have the window open. Okay.
Yeah.
50,
on the DJI
go ahead.
Friday deal. Black Friday sales. You can get the what is it? Free Care Refresh with the purchase of a Mini 4 Pro.
Or an Avata 2 purchase.
Yeah, in the Fly More 2 combo.
Yes.
You get free. You're getting with the 3 battery series, you're getting free DJI Care Refresh on that.
Yes. A $79 I guess that's what they're charging for it. But also with the Avada 2 here, you get 1 year free. This is a $59 care refresh package, but you're getting it. This is with the Fly More combo as well, Herman. 3 batteries. What else are they giving out?
We'll check it out.
Okay, DJI. If you get the mini 4K for $300, they're giving you a 64 gigabyte SD card.
Okay,
That's not bad. It goes on and on. The holidays coming. These things make great stocking stuffers. The Mini 3, they're giving another SD card, etc. Now you get a water bottle if you buy the DJI Mavic Pro combo, Fly More combo for $3,000. You get a water bottle. They are giving away lots of stuff here. Now there's Action 4. No, they did. Yeah, they're not giving it away. You got to play something right. Exactly. This Action 4 was $300. Now it's regularly $230. That's a whole $70 off right there.
We're up to the 5 now, right? On that.
Yep. Now they got the Action. Now this is wait. $229. This is a combo here. Then I see the Action 3 here for $269. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this more? But it's the actual combo package, how they're putting it together. But you guys get the gist of it. I will post this link in the chat for those of you who know nothing of it. Or just say, the dumbest thing I've seen is Best Buy selling a Neo with 128 gig. I saw that too. It's Raymond. I did see that too. I thought it was just me. The Herman. The Best Buy is selling the Neo with the 128 gig card. Or the 256. I saw the advertisement for the 128. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
But you know what I wanted to tell you, Lawrence? There's also some early Black Friday deals that's been going on for a minute now on Amazon. And I know that this has been jumping back and forth on Amazon for a minute because we've been talking about it for a few weeks. And the Amazon has the DJI. You have that Amazon link, Lawrence?
No.
That Amazon.
Hold on. I'd have to go back to Facebook.
Okay.
Hold on.
But anyway, that Amazon has the a discount on that DJI Power 1000, where you can implement a coupon that they have on there and get a big discount on that. It really actually drops the price down to $459
with the coupon.
Yes, with the coupon. Now, we had been talking about this thing for a few weeks. It's been bouncing back and forth off of Amazon, off and on.
Here it is. Finally. Keep going. I'm going to pull it up while you.
So it, like I said, this has been bouncing back and forth on Amazon. And this is one of those early birds. And I don't know how long they're going to be running this because it's for a limited time.
Yeah.
It's for a limited time on Amazon. So if you you can apply this coupon.
Yeah, here it is. $340 coupon right here. You will just hit this box right there and add it to cart. And that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. Let me uncheck this before they think I want to buy one.
Get one.
You know how Amazon is, bro. You hit that button and they'd be like, hold up. hold too late. We got your money. You want to file a claim?
You can return it.
Yeah, that's true. You're true, but why even go through all why even go through the hassle?
Well, that's what they do. Amazon doesn't do anything else.
See, Draymond says okay, Dre. He says you guys brought it up last week. I went there and got one. Oh, see. Yes, I did see the video that you had done with it. It's a steal. It's a steal. How much was it when it first came out, Herman?
Well, they've been discounting it off and on, but they had it for like what, $6.99, $7.99, then it went to $6.99, and it's been at $6.99 for a steady price. I believe that's what it was, $6.99, right on their site.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been at that price for a minute, and it just wouldn't budge. But what else would they have on that Black Friday sale, Lawrence?
What else would they have on that Black Friday sale? Hold on. We'd have to go back here and pull that back up.
It's the 360 camera, I believe it was, on that Black Friday sale. Or something for Insta360.
Yes, they have a few things. Hold on. It's right here. This Black Friday sale is here. It is. This isn't too bad, actually. This is not too bad. This Black Insta360 sale that they have the X4 on sale. They have the Insta360 Ace Pro and then the 3S. I like the 3S for the FPV version, but you can save up to 47%.
Really? What else?
Here's the deal. The X4, which is their latest camera, is regularly $499. You can get it for $424. You're saving $75 on it. On the latest and the greatest. Now, that's not bad at all. Now here, a camera that was $400, and this was the reason I did not get this, because I wanted it for FPV purposes. But financially, I'm like, you know what? You can get something else with it. But it's $359.99. They took $40 off of this camera, which I think.
You can clip that on you like that and walk around.
Yes, magnetic. It gives you a magnetic clip you can put on and twist it, and it goes straight from horizontal to vertical, just as easy as the person moved it. That easy.
Is that Chinese?
Is
that Chinese made?
Insta360. And now this is becoming more affordable. I will probably see, my birthday's next month, and I haven't brought anything for myself in a minute, but this camera, this 360 camera, is looking more and more interesting. It was regularly $450. You're taking off $120. It's $329. By Christmas, it'll be about $300.
I forgot your birthday is coming up.
Yeah. So, and now here's the camera. Hold on, one more thing they have, the Insta360 Ace Pro, which is their #1 camera with a Leica lens. This thing was $450. They're taking $150 off, making it $300.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Yes. So I will put the link in the chat for any of you who thinking about a stocking stuffer for
stuffing is
out there. Yes, stuff you're stocking with. I think. Hey Dan, what's up, man? I didn't see you there. I was in another window. But that's for that sale there. To be honest,
well,
some of this stuff is quite tempting.
There was a tease here of the of a launch date on November 26th. of a new product launch.
Yeah.
Carry less, capture more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I said to you November 26, 2024 at 8 a.m. Eastern. All right.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure we all saw this. We all got this. We all got it. Now, we all seen what was put out, and we all saw the things that was floating around after that. Because as far as, that's concerned, your man Jasper and them was right on point, jumping on board. Jasper had to throw his stuff out there with his little pictures and stuff. And I'm quite sure everybody, even the articles, is hinting to the fact that we know what this is supposed to be, or we know that this is supposed to be, or we believe it's supposed to be the DJI Mic Minis. Now, there's been a lot of photos out there about the Mic Minis, showing, we've had, photos of it, how it clips on, a little clip on your shirt, stuff like that. They've gotten some really nice close-up shots of it because it comes in the black and the white version of it. And
I forget what they call that, Arctic white.
Yeah, Arctic white.
That's their color, yeah.
Yeah. And the Infinity black. Yeah. So I mean, we've seen it, and I believe that that's what they claim. What's happening with this? What, they got a couple of different versions of this thing. You can probably purchase, from what I'm understanding, what is it? The base for what is it? 60 is it a base unit for $62, and then you can get what is it? The transmitter and a receiver for what is it? $94. And then you get two transmitter and a receiver for $179. So you can't beat that.
That's yes. They're trying to make everyone a content creator.
Yeah, see that. But you know what, Lawrence? You know what we got in the green room? We got the 1 minute that sponsor, and we got Ryan hanging out in the green room. So let's
bring him in.
Well, let's have a word from our sponsor first, and then we can bring Ryan in, right? So who is our next sponsor? Okay. Droneadir. For you guys who are looking to scale your operations, if you're a Part 107 pilot and you just want to get out and do the work, fly your drone and get the job done, and you need somebody else to do all of the record keeping, do all of the book work, handle all of the paperwork for you, someplace where you can build your own website and even get tools to make you a more knowledgeable pilot, well, then if that's what you're looking for and that's what you need, well, then Droneadir is for you. Droneadir. How you doing there, Lawrence?
I'm back. Good. Draymond was saying the Rode kit is $149 with the mic and receiver.
Oh, okay.
Well, at one time before DJI was around, it was Rhodes or you got to go.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we have some pretty good ones that we use.
Ceremonic, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Lauren? Let's bring Ryan in so we can talk about a few things, chop it up a little bit, because we got
yes.
a little bit of time to talk. So without further ado, here we go. Ryan Latourette. How you doing there, Ryan?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good,
man. What's up? How are you?
Good.
I wish I could say I was good. I've been sick all day, and I took a COVID test. It was negative, so I'm like, woohoo! Thank you.
Oh, so you're good.
Well, feel better anyway.
So you're good sick.
I'm good sick. I have my nectar of the gods, my Mountain Dew, so I'll try to keep my throat nice and moist.
I thought he said nectar of the gods. This is my best brandy.
You know what? It's funny. What was I was checking out something. What was it? Mountain Dew? It was supposedly like a chase. It was built to be a chaser.
You know, in college I always mixed it with Yukon Jack, so it was you do. Oh boy, I don't think I could do that anymore.
It was invented to be a chaser. That's what I heard. And then eventually it became a soda. Everybody else to drink.
There you go.
Wow. So what's going on? A long time.
I'll tell you, it's been a while, and I apologize. I was in New York, and I didn't come down to visit. I ended up going through the Finger Lakes. I got as far as Ithaca before I turned back to the west.
Okay. I have a former brother-in-law in Utica.
How do you have a brother-in-law?
Well, I mean, he used to be my brother-in-law. You know what I mean, man. That's a future brother-in-law. I'm not getting married. You know what the hell I mean, man. But he lives up in Utica, and he used to always lets me know when they were doing testing for drones. He'd be like, "They're doing it again. I'm trying to get some pictures for you, but the things are going by too damn fast and too high."
Yeah.
You know.
He said Ithaca.
Yeah. So were you there on business? You weren't there on business or what?
No, I took my fall vacation chasing waterfalls, right?
Okay.
There are so many gorges and waterfalls and gorgeous waterfalls that it just is fabulous. And stopped through Corning and did some glass blowing too. That was pretty cool.
Oh, okay. That must have been interesting.
And I don't know if you guys knew, but I had once lived out in Rochester for a time, so I was able to go visit Geneseo and kind of some old stomping grounds.
Okay. All right.
You say the blowing glass. You know what I was in? Because I went to school for art, and one of the classes that I took, and I never thought I would ever take it, but once I took it, I actually learned something and I never knew, and I was like, you have a new appreciation for certain things. But stained glass, yeah, I had to do stained glass windows and stuff like that, and that is a lot.
Time consuming, very time consuming.
You actually have to, when you see those shapes of things and stuff, they make people, and you have to cut that out by hand.
It's not easy.
I've seen it done, and I'm like paranoid of glass anyway, because it doesn't show up on X-rays. So if you get a piece of glass in your skin, it's harder to find. You know, I couldn't see myself sitting there breaking glass into shards to make something creative, but I'm not a stained glass maker.
No,
I'm sure it's very lucrative.
No, you cut it.
Okay.
You have to cut it.
Yeah.
So you would score it like you do a tile.
Then you start shaping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And where I was, you blow glass, so you're taking 2,000 degree hot glass out of a furnace, and then turning it on a pipe and blowing into the pipe so that you can expand the bubble and go back to the furnace and heat it up some more. And yeah, it's quite an amazing process.
The things you could do with sand,
right? As well as all of our drones, right? Because all those silicone chips, that's what makes our drones go.
This is true. We all know where those chips come from.
You know what, Ryan?
China, right?
Not actually.
No, Taiwan mostly.
What? No, I mean they gotta import the sand from someplace.
True.
No, but Ryan,
What's
you know,
go
I
ahead,
just
Herman?
wanted you to introduce yourself to some of the people who may be watching for the first time, who don't know who you are.
You bet.
And tell them who you are.
Yeah. So my name is Ryan Latourette, and I've been in the drone industry hobby for more than a decade now. And I do a lot of advocacy for drones. I get deep into the regulations, and I'm currently the director of regulatory affairs for the Great Lakes Drone Company, one of the largest drone companies in the Midwest area, Great Lakes region. And one of the things that I pride myself in is we're chasing after local governments and making sure that they are not imposing their own drone ordinances that are in violation with the state and federal regulations. So we want to make sure that there's preemption in place and take out those ones that are annoying to drone operators and actually endanger the national airspace.
Okay. So, guys, there's a link in the description below. You'll find information there where you can get in touch with Brian, and if anybody ever needed any legal help, if you had any drone issues, where I'm not saying like you just. Like, yeah, I went up and flew, across the Sears Tower, and I didn't care. I landed on top, and then I took off again, and then the police came by, and they wanted to tell me I couldn't fly here. So I told them, yeah, I got the right. Nah, don't call Ryan if you did that. But if you really were really wrong, then you have an issue, and you need legal help, then he's the guy you might need to call, and say, I got this problem. Get in touch with him. You get in touch with them and let them know what's going on. But there's and all of the work that he does and he puts in, for the community, and I've seen some of the work myself firsthand that he's actually doing. So
indeed, it's all free.
Yeah,
and I will say, even if you're in that situation where you've done something wrong, still give me a holler. I had an individual who he flew in a TFR, right? And he gave me a holler, and we were able to help him out in some aspects of that case. And actually, he just won that case today, so that was very helpful. But so sometimes there are areas where that you're in the wrong, and you've done something, and the FAA or local authorities may trump the charges, right? And we can look at those and say, all right, here's how you want to start looking at this in more detail, because there's a chance that you can get out of at least some of these.
Right. And now this will go into later on with this bill. Well, this will go into our conversation later on. But how are the preemptive states going? How is it looking?
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. There are 17 preemptive states across the nation. Michigan is one of them. And yet, at the same token, we've been trying to push for preemption in other states. Iowa, we were trying to get a bill to go through in this last session. At the 11th hour, that failed. It was very disheartening. After going through all the legislative sessions and markups, it still did not go through. New York, we were trying hard to lobby for one. We hadn't seen that go through. I anticipate it's going to get presented again in the next session, but each of those little steps, that it's discouraging that it doesn't happen. And yet at the same token, for states that already have the preemption, we are making progress, where New Jersey is a great example. New Jersey has the preemption statute. And I should explain for everybody, the preemption is a land use as well as airspace jurisdiction. So the states are basically telling local governments, hey, you cannot use your land use jurisdiction to prevent launching, landing, operating a drone. And of course, the federal government has, through the FAA, jurisdiction over the airspace. So in these preemptive states, we're able to go to the local governments and say, your drone ordinance is preventing overflight. You can't do that. That's in violation of preemption of federal law under the FAA.
Right.
And then we're also able to say, you're trying to prevent launching, landing, and taking off, and the state has prevented you from doing that. So in New Jersey, there's a few governments, local governments, that were saying, you can't launch in our parks, so you can't launch in our town. And we were able to show them, here's the state statute. You need to correct yourself and revoke your current ordinance. And they were doing that. Pennsylvania is another, Michigan, Illinois. There's, like I said, it's 17. So we're still moving along those lines. And the big one now, you can see in back of me, if I turn, and that is the Michigan Supreme Court. That is the building in which we are going to be having a hearing on December 17th to test preemption of Michigan State's preemption law, where the University of Michigan has decided that they are not beholden to the state of Michigan and their preemption.
Well, Ryan, what I wanted to ask you, because we kind of got tossed around on the direction we were going with this, and
I think so, yeah.
and we started talking about preemption, but you said you're now going to court with Michigan, the University of Michigan, right?
That's University of Michigan,
right. But I mean, I don't know if most guys are familiar with that case. Could you tell us a little bit about that before we?
Absolutely. So in Michigan, we're one of the preemptive states. We had already gone through and challenged a couple of different counties and won in court, as well as the Court of Appeals. And when you do that, it becomes a statewide precedent. When we won in Genesee County, then other counties could say, well, that's only applicable to Genesee County. And they were right. But when we won against Ottawa County in the appeals court, then it becomes statewide to say, yes, the state law that preempts a local government from creating or enforcing their own drone ordinances is statewide. So now we turn to the University of Michigan. And the University of Michigan has created their own policy that says you can't launch, land, operate, or fly from the campus property, and you cannot fly over campus property. And their statements are that they are exempt from state law. They claim that they are a constitutional corporation that has no beholdens to any state law. So technically, what they're saying, imagine, if you will, that you have an interest in murdering somebody on campus. The University of Michigan has no law preventing you from murdering somebody on campus. You could go and shoot them up, and it's not against their law. So what they're saying is, we're autonomous from the state of Michigan. We are not beholden. So go ahead. Now, we know, you and I and everybody else knows that's wrong.
Right.
But that's their argument.
Okay.
And do they have a politician behind them? What's going on that they have such big balls that they must know somebody somewhere?
Well, so it's kind of interesting with
the contract.
Yeah.
With the university, and this has happened throughout many universities across the nation, and this is why this is so important, right? Some universities are interned into state constitutions where they're given autonomous authority in certain areas. So when it comes to the control of certain things regarding education on the campus of University of Michigan, they can stipulate, here's how we're going to do things. And the state doesn't have a say, right? But there's other areas, like let's say traffic. You can't just go and have 14 or 18 wheeler roll through campus with 10 different trailers hooked onto the end of it, that would be against state law. And yet by the University of Michigan, they're saying, hey, we are autonomous, we can do what we want. And that's the challenge. That's where we have to say, in terms of what you have for the state constitution, yes, you were granted some measure of autonomy to control your campus, but that doesn't extend to everything.
So you mean sort of mean like what New York's doing?
Yes, they do, Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what New York is doing. A lot of
You got
people with this $150 fine, it's not going to the FAA. It's going to the city of New York, the 5 boroughs. They're flying drones from rooftops down here, man. You should see it. You should see it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Herman brings up an issue all the time. If there's a crime here and we're flying here and they launch a drone from here, now are we impeding in their job? You understand, when we don't know that they've even launched? It's crazy here.
Yeah. And the reality too, right? So if you are a news reporter and you want to go and capture the the building is burning down across the street, I want to get up and see an aerial view, you'd had to make that request 30 days in advance. So get out your crystal ball to know when the next emergency is, so you can be there and have that breaking news.
You know there's going to be a fire in this building on the 28th of the month. So
great.
I'm going to pay
and it's not going to be raining.
And you know, like I know, the fire department is not going to patch their drone into the network and share their information.
Of course. So now, how do we handle this? What's to be done? Is there anything we can do, or is the hobby as we know it going to shit?
Well,
I think say it any other way.
I think right now most New Yorkers are thumbing their nose at that permit system, and they're flying no matter what. And I think that continues. Honestly,
I can see a bigger.
There are people who are paying the permit fees, but there are selective, and read between the lines. There are selective producing companies that do video production here in New York that get leniency and first choice over permit access as opposed to others. Now, those of you don't know, they charge us $150 30 days in advance to fly, and then they can tell you no at any time and point and keep your $150.
Word, that's how I go.
Stop.
Well, and it seems like your mayor is having a little legal trouble anyhow. So maybe that helps.
Him and the rest of them.
See what it is? He can't do a GoFundMe, so he's got to find ways to find money.
Right. New York. So Barkley's making fun of the New York accent.
So he's shaking down the illegal weed spots and
that he allowed to open to begin with. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Also, we'll get back on topic, but go ahead, Herman.
What I really wanted to ask you about was this. I forget it was the House bill, right? 3935.
Yes.
I know it's an aviation bill. What I wanted you to know, what I wanted to ask you was like, how does it, like, on what part of it, as opposed to section, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but 930 pertain to us as drone pilots and hobbyists. How does that pertain? Like, how does this pertain to us? Because I know it's a lot of stuff in this bill.
A lot of stuff. So this bill, it has passed. It passed in May. It now is in effect, right? It's called the FMRA, and that's the FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2024. Every 4 years we go through this. So there was one. Is it every 4 years? Yeah, every 2 years. Sorry. So there was one. 2018. There was another, right? And there were some changes in that bill that affected us as a drone operators. 2012 was another one that affected us as drone operators. This one also has those kind of things. So when they pass these bills, it is authorization for the FAA to continue their organizational prowess, right? And they provide the Congress is providing the FAA with money and designating where those funds are going to be spent by the FAA to pursue policy actions. So in this case, Congress put in a clause, Section 930, that is talking about use of unmanned aerial vehicles with beyond visual line of sight flight. So everybody's thinking, oh, when are we getting beyond visual line of sight to be allowed? Here it is. Section 930 is basically saying to everybody, it's coming. And what it's designating to the FAA, it's given a date. It says to the FAA, you have 4 months from when this bill goes live to put together a proposed rule and get it out so that everybody has a chance to, give their input towards your proposed rule. And then they have another 18 months whereby after the proposed rule goes out, review all the comments, all the, make your adjustments to the rule and put the final rule in place. So the FMRA passed in May. It took some time to get signed into the system and become active, but you start doing the math, right? June, July, August, September, October, November. We're right past that deadline at this point. So at any point in time in the next few months, we can expect to see a notice of proposed rulemaking from the FAA that is going to ease restrictions on flying beyond visual line of sight. So
now,
the next piece is to go,
I want to ask, not to interrupt you, I want to ask you a question. But won't we still have to follow the category rules?
Well, the category rules, so category rules, you're talking about flight over people. So those would still be applicable, right? Beyond visual line of sight doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to fly over people. So think about, maybe not, but think about this as you're going to fly mapping a farmer's, 600 acres of land. Right. So you're probably not going to fly over anybody except corn, right? So that's an easy one where, all right, I'm going to get my drone out, but I am going to be beyond line of sight because that could be quite a distance.
Almost all mapping jobs are beyond visual.
Yeah, true.
But so there are occasions where you aren't going to have the categorization come into effect, right? But there are others where, hey, I'm going to fly over a city. I'm going to do a mapping of a highway. At that point, now you're starting to look at the categorization and saying, is my drone outfitted with the parachute system? Is it a Cat 2 FAA approved? Has the airworthiness approval onto it. So those things can start to come into effect too. And that's what 930 is saying. It's saying, take a look at all the safety factors, including weight, speed, etc., all the trajectory information, and make sure the kinetic energy is such that we aren't going to have problems. And then allow, via this rule, some beyond visual line of sight flight.
Right. Well, Raymond mentioned something that I wanted to read real quick. He says, people upset now because they have to submit to the FAA to get approval. Some are getting turned down. People need to realize these flights need to have a specific purpose and not just as will. You get what he's saying. In other words, if you want to request a flight next to JFK Airport because you have a lemon tree in your backyard, guess what's going to be approved and guess what's not?
No, but that's actually having a reason for doing it. But it's not really a good reason.
I think where he's going, though, is talking about the categorization, and we can probably ask him, right? Because there are there are people that are submitting those requests for allowing their Cat 1 drone to be flown over crowds. And the FAA is they send back a form letter that basically says, hey, you haven't given us information about your operations. Well, don't take that as a specific. Don't look at that and say, oh, they want to know exactly which concert I'm flying or the GPS waypoint that I'm at. No, they aren't interested in that. They want to know the safety aspects that you're putting in, such that when you do that operation, you're covering all the bases. So if you're planning to fly over people, they want to know, do you have an escape route as to if this thing is having problems, where am I going to go to make sure that I set down and I don't hit anybody?
Right down into the people.
Exactly. So if you're looking at that letter and thinking, gosh, they've denied me because I don't have a specific, they're looking at specific safety criteria, not the specific sets of data for the flight.
Well, just like applying for the permit here in New York, you have to have a contingency plan. You have to show you're insured. You have to show that if you lose control or something, you have to put up a letter for wherever you're flying. If you're flying from here, 100 feet to that side, 100 feet to that side of where you're flying must be noted. There are drone pilots in it. There's so much stuff you got to do just to be able to fly here in New York. And now it's coming to a point where you might have to do the same thing with minus $150 in other states. At least that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if you remember, we used to have to call the local airport and let them know. People always thought we were asking. No, it was our job as drone pilots to let the local airports know that we will be flying in a certain area, certain altitude, certain time. Now, because of Lance, and you remember the uproar, we got to tell them when we're taking off and ask when we can. Millions of people have done it, and it works. And it works.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think the only challenge now that we have with Lance is that, you've got the grids, and sometimes you want to go above the grids. I am still hearing from folks. I submitted my request a month ago, and it expired, and now it's dead, and I have to go again. And there's other people, hey, I got to turn around in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And there's really no consistency, and it's because of the ATCs that some of these guys, they aren't even checking their email systems, and 2 days later, I got this, I will sit on it for a while.
So now what can be done?
I mean, sit on anything nowadays
for the states. That what can be done? I mean, other than to conform.
Well, I think at this point we have to understand that the ATCs are grossly understaffed, and the FAA recognizes that. They've been attempting to, do recruitment to get folks into those slots. I'll tell you what, if you want to make some serious money, become an air traffic controller. They get paid.
They need people all over.
From what I'm understanding,
it is a high stress job.
They're writing their own ticket right now, them and pilots.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it is a high stress job. But yeah, you can literally get in and, spend a career and make really super, super good money doing it. But yeah, and basically anywhere you want, because they just don't have the necessary staff.
It's crazy. It's getting to the point now where if you don't have a technologically defined job, you may be left out of the loop.
What happened? You say, Lawrence?
It's getting to the point now where if you don't have some kind of technical know-how, you're going to be left out of the loop.
Well, if it depends on the job you have.
True, but I mean, I'm still against paying someone $15 to get my McDonald's order wrong, but that's just me personally. If I'm going to pay someone $20 to make a burger, I want it made the way I want it. to perfection, not slap some lettuce on it and then and a drop of sweat and wrap it in some paper and give it to you. It's just the same thing with the drone community.
Well,
Well,
see,
that's part of it too. Is that AI and robotics are taking over jobs, and they will continue to do so. The challenge is if you really want to get ahead of that, get into the IT of AI. Know how to code computers. Know how to
Nanotechnology
operate.
is another
Right?
topic. Nanotechnology is another topic that people are not getting into.
The problem with it all of these things always build everything that you can think of as a human will always create another problem. And what now when we start building this machine now that will make that perfect burger for you, Lawrence, or that perfect chicken sandwich for you, and you just eliminated 5 human beings.
12 jobs. Yeah, that's and this is happening in the drone community because you have drone in a box. No longer do you need to send a guy to a site in Utah away from somewhere when you can press a button or schedule a drone launch.
There'll come a time where they'll figure out why they don't need us to drive how many miles to go to a cell tower.
Yeah, of course, because there'll be a drone in a box along the path.
It'll be it's the same thing as to why when we're driving and we're passing 50 towers, they're like, why isn't that the one we have to go in? Why do we have to go so far? Why can't we do this one? It's right here.
Yeah. On the way to go inspect a cell tower, you pass hundreds of cell towers. It's funny. We're like, it couldn't be this one right here on the side of the road where we can just put out our cones and fly. We've got to go through wasp nest and listen for bear growls and whatever else is breaking twigs behind us in the tree. You remember we went to the spot with it wasn't a swamp, but you had to do like, you know how the car shows have this little off-road ride? That's what it was like getting to this place. And then they had thousands of little chipmunks. You look out the corner of your eye and see something move, it's gone. Look out the corner of your eye.
In the old truck, Lawrence, because the doors don't lock, so I can always just run and jump in the truck.
If you only knew, Ryan, some of the stuff we have to go through, but it's worth it.
Well, and what I'll say too is that I've had a number of folks that go out to California and they've worked with PG&E, for example, to do cell tower inspections and line inspections, and in those cases, right, they're going to drive up the side of a mountain with their truck, and they're going to get so far, and I can't get any more. They're going to put the equipment on their back and hump it up the rest of the way. 2-3 miles.
We've been there, done that.
Yep.
A hiking we will go. And then you realize you turn around, you can't see the car anymore.
Right.
Yes, we've been there, done that. It's not just a job; it's an adventure. That's for real.
And that becomes, the importance of having beyond visual line of sight, because really, what's the importance of going and hiking that 2 miles to get up to the top of the mountain to fly when you're not probably going to have an aircraft in that area, especially at 400 or 500 feet, because they're really getting up over those mountains. So sit in your truck, fly up the side of the mountain, do your work, bring it back home.
Well, I think it is that the stuff that takes off from the ground that's up in the air is manned is usually not down that low. So stuff that has to be built from the ground up that's high is really not in our area. I mean, listen. We're up there and thank God I honestly I would turn it down. Those towers that have you've probably seen them. They're hundreds of feet tall, and they have like these guidelines that come down like that.
Yep.
I would turn those down. I'm not doing that with a Mavic 3. Nice.
But and I talked with an executive on those types of inspections, right? So some of those, let's say they go up 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet. If you have to send a crew out there to change the light bulb or to check on things, right? It's not just one person that climbs up that tower. Instead, they have people, and every 500 feet, they'll have a person. So if that tower is going to be 2,000 feet, right? One person goes up 500 and then the next one starts, and they keep going up together at 500-foot intervals. And the reason is that if that top person, he has a slip, fall, whatever, and now he's upside down, he's only got a limited time in order to live, because all the blood is rushing to his head. So that next person that's 500 feet down, they can race up and help get that person upright again. And of course, that means everybody else has to go up 500 feet. So now you're talking about, crews of 4, 5, 6 people to do one tower, whereas a drone, one person, I'm done.
Yeah, you would have to have something a little bigger, a little beefier to get up and do that.
Yeah,
can't quite see that Mavic 3 at 2,000 feet.
Not a Mavic 3.
No, that would be scary. You might as well put it in sports mode and turn it into an FPV bird, because that's about the best you're going to do up there.
Well, that's what it's going to become once it's up there.
That's what I'm saying. You might as well go with the flow and put it in sports mode and try and work your way down. But it's getting to the point now, Ryan, where people aren't scared now about not being able to fly. I know people have just stopped the hobby and said, I don't want to be bothered, man, with all of this going on.
Really?
What do you say to that?
I've seen that, and I don't understand that philosophy, right? To me, flying is a relaxation. It's just pure and simple. Flying is fun. And, for somebody to walk away from that, I don't know what's happened to them. And yeah, I get all the confrontations of, the Karens out, oh, you can't fly here. And that can include police. And, to me, I thrive on that. It's a chance to educate them. But, yeah, I don't think that would ever prevent me from saying, I'm going to hang things up.
No, you know what? There's a few people who have. And, even myself, I would say sometimes it's like, I drive past that place all the time. I'm tired of taking pictures of it. I'm not flying there. But if you pay me.
Right. Exactly.
So put yourself in like Ansel Adams' shoes, right? So Ansel Adams, fantastic, probably the premier photographer in the world of all time. And he would go and he'd sit on the side of the mountains in Yosemite and spend months there, right? And literally just waiting for the one shot. And yeah, he might shoot, every single day and do something, but he's waiting for one shot. And, I get it. I really do. Because when you find that one shot, that's that money shot, it's all worthwhile.
I would agree.
Yes, I mean, who knows when that's going to happen? Who knows when that shot's going to be that shot? You just got to keep plugging and keep plugging and plugging. You know what I did want to ask you, though? We have been talking about a few things here and now, and preemption seems to be the thing. And we mentioned that, we're fighting for preemption in a few states, but what I wanted to ask you was what happened in Illinois.
Yeah. And this is a huge gut punch. And I want everybody to realize just how bad this is,
Is
not
this
just
a
for
standing
Illinois,
aid or is this like a
across
full
the nation.
meltdown?
Yeah. So what happened in Illinois, and I'm going to take you back a couple of years first, right? They passed the preemption law. I want to say it was 2017 that basically said, same as all these others, no local government can create or enforce their own drone ordinance. And they spelled that out very specifically, which included county parks, right? We fast forward a couple of years later, I want to say it's 2018, 2019, someplace in there. We had a drone operator who wanted to fly in a Cook County park. Now, Cook County is just outside of Chicago. It's the most populous county in all of Illinois. He went to fly there. He knew he could fly there, and yet they said, "No, you can't fly here." He said, "Okay, well, ticket me, please. Write the ticket." So they did. Uh, he took that ticket to court with a motion to dismiss, and the judge listened to the prosecutor say, "Here's why, we can't have the drones here, da da da." The judge cut him off and spent the next 10 minutes berating the prosecutor. There's no reason that you should have brought this. You know that it's against the law for you to have an ordinance in place for this park. A motion to dismiss is granted. And
Right.
so it was our precedent that said, "Hey, look, we've tested the Illinois preemption law. We are good. We can now talk to all these other county parks and say, your ordinance is in violation of state law. Please remove it." And we started that process. Obviously, that ruffles some feathers, right? Because the folks who created those laws, gosh darn it, we need this in place. And I'm responsible for doing this. We're not going to rescind this. So what happened this past year? Those parks department areas got in touch with a particular state representative and said, we need to allow parks to make their own regulations in the state of Illinois. That person then took and wrote a bill similar to what was done in Oregon as well a year earlier, and they were just able to pass it this year, despite my going to a couple of different Illinois meetings and saying, guys, this is your chance. You gotta fight this. There wasn't enough organization by the drone community to go ahead and tamper this thing down, And so right now, the state of Illinois has passed the legislation. It's been signed by the governor that now allows county parks to regulate drones. This is huge because it's terrible to preemption. It still opens things up where if you are doing overflight, the FAA takes all the airspace, and yet these parks are going to prosecute, right? We're going to still be fighting airspace regulations that they put in place. And at the same token, we were talking beyond visual line of sight. You could be stepping outside the park and fly over, and they're going to come ticket you. We've gone backwards in terms of preemption because of this, and really it all starts out of what took place in Oregon a couple of years ago. So we're starting to see this, and we talk about all the time. If one state does something, it starts to flow through other states. Well, this is that backwards flow, and we've got to prevent that. So my encouragement is, if you're paying attention in the drone community, pay attention to any state laws that are going into effect or that are being proposed, I should say. Talk to your state representatives. Tell them why it is so important to disallow local governments from creating their drone ordinances. We need to make sure that the airspace is safe and secure. And the FAA has repeatedly said patchwork quilt of regulations actually endanger the national airspace rather than protect it. So it's on all of us to find out what's happening in our legislatures, get in touch with everybody, yourselves included, so that you can populate it out to the community. Get in touch with me. I'm going to do my part to make sure that proper attorneys are involved. we need to step up and fight these types of things.
Okay. Lawrence, anything?
No, I don't know whether to be confused, mad, upset, happy. You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing everything that we have to do. We're contacting our politicians. It's obvious we did have an effect on what the outcome was, because even the politicians said people are hitting us up about this. These things are going on across the country with drones.
Well, you know what I told you.
What other than getting together on a bus and pulling up in front of the White House and pulling our drones out and flying, what can we do to keep this ball rolling?
To me, it's really getting in front of the locals, both your town or city or township, county level folks. Host a drone day, right? Show them, here's what a drone looks like. Here's how it operates. Here's the good things that it can do for you. And when you do that, they're going to ask the bad questions, right? They're going to say, well, this can spy on people. Okay, let me show you, right? I'm going to take it up 30 feet. I'm going to take it 20 feet away from us. I'm going to point the camera at us. Tell me which one of us is female and male, right? And then they're going to start to see, gosh, yeah, maybe these things aren't so bad. Talk about when they start saying, well, these things can crash into airplanes, and talk about the history. We don't have the history of manned aviation crashing into unmanned aviation.
It's true you say that, because here in New York, there are thousands upon thousands of drone pilots, and nobody from New York, well, one guy hits a building, or you've heard of hitting a building. We do know one guy, but that was over 6 years ago, and it was human error. But you don't hear of New Yorkers hitting buildings, telephone lines, crashing into objects and things. But you hear about that every now and then when a tourist comes to New York. Hey, a tourist was here. He crashed a drone into a skyscraper 55 stories high. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So, and those are great stories, right? Because when they say, hey, I heard that, a drone crashed into a helicopter, you heard it because it was national news. It was national news because it is so unique and obscure. It never happened before. And, how many times have you heard of it again? You haven't, because it hasn't happened. And
in Canada,
so that's the important piece as well.
In Canada, it happened twice within the same calendar year with the police department.
Police doing their own.
Yeah. And in a place where if the squirrel comes out of a tree, you must land until he's gone. And
they don't laugh. They got more freedom of flight than we do.
I know. They do.
No,
and I just wanted to,
Brian,
go ahead.
What I wanted to ask you real quick, because we were going to talk about this, and the thing that I wanted to ask you, right now the government is reaching they're approaching with the year changing now with the deadline on, because we've been everybody's been talking now for a long time that the government cannot use any more funds to purchase or any more drones, or let's be honest, I'm not going to say foreign entities and Chinese made drones. Let's be honest with it. They can't buy any more Chinese made drones. And we've been talking about that for the entire year, but now the deadline is approaching.
Yes,
and
very close.
With that now coming as the year is going to change into the new year, they cannot purchase any more Chinese-made drones. And with in December of 25, for the existing drones that they purchased already with the funds that they had, with that happening, and that affecting people who fly these drones for government contracts, how does that, where are we going with this now? What do you think about that?
So, Yeah, I mean, a couple of things that are going on, right? Number one, with that, there's exceptions, right? So they can write exceptions requests. There's a policy procedure for them doing that. And there are all kinds of exception requests that are floating around getting approved. So, in that respect, there's going to be Chinese drones being flown by government agencies for a long time to come yet, right? Um, at the same token, they're trying the to lock this thing down and say, oh well, you can't do this. I think one of the key elements with DJI, right? Drones from DJI are the cause of concern, blah blah blah. DJI recently filed suit against the
Right,
government,
we know
saying,
that. Right.
yes,
Yeah.
prove that this is a problem, and you can't do it.
So,
And so
let
that,
me,
I think,
Ryan,
is going to challenge those laws and potentially overturn them.
Ryan, let me ask you a question real quick. So right now, the United States government is not in a concrete space. They're in a space where they're saying that this technology could perhaps be used to do this. It could perhaps, maybe, be used to do this. Not that it is happening, because if it is happening, they would stop it right away.
Immediate.
So
Yep.
we're at a state where it could happen. It could perhaps, maybe, be used to do this. So if it's a situation of it could perhaps, maybe, be used to do this, isn't there a way of stopping it from perhaps, maybe, being used to do this?
That's the things about hypotheticals. You can create a hypothetical off of a hypothetical off of a hypothetical. It's insane. It really is insane. And I think the latest one that I saw was that some DJI drones were being held up at customs, right? And it was because of oh well, Chinese youth labor is child labor, da da da, and then we find out, oh yeah, they're being held up by Elise Stefanik, the New York Republican who wrote the Chinese ban drill or the bill.
Who has a computer that's in her office that has been made with the chipsets that are being made by people with tiny hands. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Part-time patriot.
So what is your next step, Ryan?
Well, I'm going to continue to advocate.
Right.
Yeah, I have to look at advocacy, and so I enjoy getting a drone in front of a state legislature, in front of a group of elected officials, and being able to say, hey, here's the drone. I'm not connected to the internet. This tablet has not been connected to the internet. It's impossible for something to get to China, right?
Right. And once you take out the SD card, the data can't go anywhere.
Exactly.
I think they know this already. They have to.
Well, I mean, it's always been a thing of where whatever can be connected to the internet, whatever could be. Well, there's a lot of things that could be connected to the internet. And if you have any virus protection software that's any good, they will tell you, like, a lot of the apps that's on your phone is taking your data. Like the flashlight app on your phone in particular, they're collecting your data.
Oh yeah.
The virus software let me know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and I think we're in this. I'll call it a phase that people don't trust. The election system, because oh my gosh, we have voting machines that might be changing your vote,
and that's
it's proven otherwise, and yet they still have these beliefs, right? Everything's a conspiracy theory. And how do we get out from under that? I just don't know. I'm very concerned about that.
We don't, and it's funny because it's used in two different ways. It's used to ridicule someone, and it's also used to create mass hysteria. and the belief that things are happening that are not really happening. Because here we are, we talked one whole year about the things that could perhaps be happening, and it was proven that these perhapses are not happening.
Right.
You know, like I said, there's only
at
one
what
person
point do we
out
believe
there
facts?
Right, but there's only one person, like I said this last week, and I mentioned that it's only believe he's the only person out of here that keeps saying that things are happening, and they could happen, and he's the only one that I know that says that. You know, like he's the only one that also talks highly about
you.
Yeah, the guy from Joan U. Paul. He's
I
the
didn't
only one
say that.
He's the only one that talks highly about the Skydio X10. And he's also the only one that says that there's anything that could perhaps be happening with DJI.
That there is proof. That there is proof.
That there's no control over it happening.
I shake my head at that guy. I won't say any more on that one. Let's put it that way.
I'm doing my best to stay quiet. Okay. I'm doing my best to stay quiet. And do you have anything coming up that you might want to put out there before we get out of here in like another 2.5 minutes?
Wow, that time already.
Wow, yeah, you're almost at time, aren't you? Well, yeah, so we have that case coming up against the University of Michigan in December. As well, we're tracking another case with a TFR violation. So that one is going to I'll mention it to say we're going to see some action on it, and that may be our next thing that we're talking about. So it's a reminder, especially now we're outside of the presidential election year, but TFRs were popping up like popping corn this past year, and that can always be the case. So constantly be on lookout for a TFR and don't fly in it. I'm trying to think of the other one is going to be
anything happen at Fort Ham?
With which?
Fort Hamilton.
Fort Hamilton. So that did get pushed off until this fall. We're into the fall, so I haven't seen the new court schedule yet. I'm gonna have to follow up with that one. That's just a continued nightmare. That's beyond the statute of limitations, and for whatever reason, they are still trying to prosecute it. It does not make sense.
By the time
yeah, right. Well, to make sure you here's what I wanted to ask you. The holidays are coming. We don't know what we're going to do, but we would appreciate it if you stopped in and had some eggnog with us.
Oh, there you go. Well, real eggnog.
I'll be sending out the invitations.
Yes. So just keep an ear open.
We're thinking about doing something interesting this year because
for Christmas, for the holiday time.
It falls on the holiday.
And they say thanks for all you do, Ryan, in the community. Good info.
Thank you. I will dig up a bottle of rum.
Oh,
okay.
Guys, all of what Ryan does is not for free, and it's like a fund that the guys. I don't know how to explain it, but there's a link to it in the description. You guys, whatever you can, it helps the next guy. Whenever you have a court case, it goes towards your legal funds and stuff like that. So I don't know how else other way to explain it, but that it's
definitely appreciate it. All helps.
All is appreciated. It's not to go for paying, for whatever. It's to whatever legal fees that the next drone pilot needs for whatever case that may come up and whatever occur out there.
In other words, Ryan is not collecting the money to buy a drone.
Nope.
No, that's on other channel.
Listen, it's 7:00, guys. With that, be safe, fly safer. I'm gonna chat with the chat while you guys close out the stream.
Okay, is that time? I guess there's a few other streams coming on tonight, right? A few other live streams going on tonight. But what? I really do have to thank you know, ooh, wow. I really do have to thank them for this song. This really, I like this. Those guys, you know. I like this.
That never sleeps, so man, those guys with drones cruising the land. Light it up like a neon band. How you doing? Got the world in your hand. Hovering high, they ain't touching ground. Sky's a playground, miles around. Taking shots to the skyline proud. How you doing there? Screaming loud. NYC, locals. Flying drones while the city is grooving. Hey, hey, how you doing? NYC, boy, we're always moving.
You know what I gotta do? I gotta do a video with that song.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll make that happen. Ryan, thank you again, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on. We'll talk again soon.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Good night, everyone. It's been fun. Be safe, fly safer. Anything, Herman?
Oh, other than that, and I guess I'll see you next time with those guys. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.